It was an innocuous weekend in mid-October when the Ludwig Invitational took place and went down as the most stacked Ultimate tournament since the pre-quarantine era. To no one's surprise, there were a lot of shocking results. Light was knocked out before top 8, Big D showed the world how good ice climbers can be, and Japan made it very clear who the best Steve was. But by far the biggest story, and rightfully so, was the return of MkLeo, who only lost one game en route to a scintillating display of sheer dominance. Coming into the tournament, Leo was in a bit of a quote-unquote slump, and what I mean is that he missed top 8 at a major for the first time since 2019, a testament to how long he's dominated, sure, but in actuality, many have noticed a slight drop in his consistency. He's underperformed at the 2 most recent summits, and it seems as though his competition was finally catching up to him. Yet despite this, plus tackling some health issues, Leo fired back in one of the most dominant tournament runs in Smash history. But it's how he dominated where it gets more interesting. Leo did mention that he was going into this tournament full tryhard mode, but other than us taking his word on that, we have no real evidence that he wasn't trying his best in the tournaments he lost. For me, the main difference, however, was his game plan to stay with his heart and soul character, Byleth, which seems like an odd choice. During his slump, Leo was set on using Pyra Mithra, a much stronger character by common belief, but this was a perfect example of why playing a character that matches your personal strengths will always be better than picking a top tier. Aegis, Mithra specifically, wasn't the best fit for Leo, not because she's a bad character, nor because he's a bad player. Rather, her strengths don't necessarily align with what makes Leo so great, and as a result, we end up with a mismatch. Though he did opt to go with the Beyblades against Sonics, likely due to a matchup check. This slingshot is textbook microspacing, and these constant frame traps were the key to maintaining advantage throughout the entire set. To me, this does suggest that, given enough time, Leo's Aegis can still work at the highest level, though given how frequently Ultimate Majors happen, on top of the ever-changing meta, it's likely they'll remain as a pocket. But let's get back to Byleth, a character that brings out the best in him. MkLeo still has the best spacing among active players, making moves like his forward and back air much more dangerous in neutral with their added range and sweet spots that threaten early kills. Compare this to Mithra, who moves at a breakneck pace with less damage output, possible to space with, sure, but a much higher execution level that doesn't necessarily reward him with as much damage nor stage positioning. Leo slid too far here with his F-tilt, and he didn't drift nearly far enough here to make the neutral air safe, which costed him the stock. Furthermore, Leo has never been the best converter of long true combos. This has always been an issue for him, but makes up for it with incredible adaptation and arguably the best conditioning in all of Ultimate.
Wait a minute! Double jump! Double jump! He did! He did! Oh my god!
Instead of priding himself on crazy combos and confirms, Leo has mastered the art of putting opponents in positions where he can read and react to whatever option they choose. Here he calls out just one of Cosmos' jumps, racking up a ton of damage, and slightly notices Cosmos' attempt to jump out of the combo. This gives Leo more information on how Cosmos wants to escape, and ends in a successful edgeguard. Fast forward to the very next stock, where Leo knows Cosmos won't jump out because of what happened last time, and this results in a down smash kill off the top. He quickly recognizes Asamo's willingness to recover low, albeit too low for this instance, but the data is already downloaded, and the king makes him pay with a well-placed forward air at the very next stock to snag the lead. Here, he knows that Kurama is looking for back airs and up smashes, he is well within kill percent of those, and knowing this vulnerability, Leo concedes this back throw that won't kill, hits a cheeky arrow off stage, and then proceeds to outspace Kurama for 10 straight seconds in possibly the best defensive sequence I've ever seen. This slingshot away saved his life, and his willingness to stay in the corner until he saw the right opening was sensational. The down tilt to hurtbox shift the back air was just icing on the cake. However, Byleth wasn't the only character that made a huge return. The Joker also made a much anticipated appearance, though only for one set. However, that didn't stop Leo from showing how strong Joker still is. He gets off to a slow start here, but one missed tech on this forward air 1 is all it takes for him to threaten a stock. This turnaround grab is phenomenal awareness, and from here it's a flawless advantage state. Never mind this masterful gun edgeguard to seal the deal. The Joker pick also allows Leo to be much more aggressive offstage, further cementing him as one of the best edgeguarders in the game. This side B keeps the buzz from recovering low, while the gun snipes immediate jumps, which sets up for an easy forward air conversion. This conditions his opponents to just wait and see what Leo wants to do. What they don't know is that it plays right into his hands. In not 1, not 2, but 3 stocks against the buzz, Leo just falls off stage with him and simply reacts to whatever option he chooses with a back air. We also saw a much better disadvantage state from Joker. This is something Byleth has always struggled with. The gun down to land is textbook, and Joker's small stature and hurtbox shifting allows Leo to get out of situations that were much harder with Byleth. It was a great performance for both characters, but my only question is not about Leo's proficiency with Joker, but how he plans on using him moving forward. It's very clearly still in practice, but we only saw him for one set against a character and player he historically beats. Only time will tell which matchups he goes Joker against, but for now, Leo has seemed to found himself a nice 1-2 punch with Byleth's range and kill power, and Joker's speed and evasion. It is difficult to find a glaring fault in this performance that is worth noting. Leo lost a singular game to Kurama, and even then, any criticisms about his play were largely cherry-picked. No player ever plays perfectly. But is there any one aspect to focus on for the Smash World Tour? Once again, I am playing devil's advocate here, but I would say his biggest flaw from the weekend is his relatively slow starts. This has always been a bugaboo for Leo since the start of Ultimate. Especially in top 8, Leo consistently found himself down either in percent or the entire stock, which forced him to play catch-up right out of the gate. To his credit, Leo plays exceptionally well under pressure. You are statistically more likely to get reverse 3-0'd if he lost the first 2 games, but I would bet that he, with all of his clutch moments, would much rather be up 2-0 at the start rather than forcing himself to make a comeback. This was very apparent in his set against Kurama, who took the opening stock in 3 out of the 4 games played. Some was attributed to Amario's incredible combo game, but most of it was avoidable if played correctly. This Let's Drop Nair game 1 was very greedy with no prior conditioning, and Kurama capitalized beautifully with a forward air. In game 3, the correct play is to DI in to force the up air or have the forward air spike on stage, but Leo DIs out and again Kurama burns him for it. Like I said, however, this is really just nitpicking details that don't capture the end result. In those 3 games, Leo quickly responded with a stock to bring the games back to even, and in Grand Finals he was taking the opening stock and gathering enough information. Even after this tournament, there are still a few question marks. Leo notably didn't play any of the players that beat him in Ultimate Summit 5, and I would argue he had a slightly easier bracket with the early eliminations of Light, Gluttony, and T. I am very interested to see how things unfold at the Smash World Tour, but despite this, it should be very clear to see why MkLeo, after all these years, is still the undisputed best player in the world.
Give him a message to remember for the next month till you come back for SWT.
I don't even need to say anything. You guys just saw me winning this tournament. Only losing a game. Dude, people really thought I wasn't the best, dude. Like, you're the guy.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something useful. Huge shout out to Ludwig for hosting the event, and big thank you to VG Bootcamp for providing the VODs. If you enjoy Smash Ultimate, please subscribe to both of them. Links to their channels are in the description below. And if you liked my analysis, leaving a like and a sub helps me out a ton. If there's a player you'd like me to do an analysis on, again let me know in a comment. That's all I have for now, and I will see you all next time.